Now we're actually all live. Actually, this is your host, Brian Bledsoe. Just want to say this is TrendChat live. And if you just probably saw a couple of minutes ago that you probably heard a whole bunch of nothing, but now we are live and we're going to talk about Manchester and the tragedy that happened out there yesterday. And also going to touch on a little bit about Notre Dame and what happened with Vice President Pence in his speech. So we're gonna do this right this time. So welcome to TrendChat. Yes. Thank you. And welcome to another episode of TrendChat. I am your host, Brian Bledsoe. And if you want to connect with us on social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, it's all the same name, TrendChat 24/7. And if you want to read some of my articles on politichicks.com, just go to politichicks.com/author/Brian Bledsoe. So, I don't know if probably heard that like 2 minutes of silence just a minute ago. See, I don't go live often. And it's not because, mainly because when it comes to doing interviews and trying to get it all together and whatnot, it's just easier for me to record and then put it on. So when I have an interview, then I would try to do more recording as opposed to trying to do it live and try to coordinate all that together and whatnot. So, hey, if y'all really like TrendChat, maybe we might really get like, a studio set up, or at least some other people to help out as far as doing all this. Because if you've been listening to the show, I'm basically learning all this on my own. So if you go back to probably the first episode to right now, I'm pretty sure you would notice some difference. I hope you do, at least. If anything, with the sound quality, because the first episode was done with the mic that you just use to talk on your cell phone, and now I actually have a better mic, at least. And so, at least in that sense, I hope that has improved. But yeah. So now we're really all live. It's funny because in that 2 minutes, I'm sitting there talking, thinking something was coming out, and I look down and I don't see any activity on this mic. I'm like, no one's hearing me, and the clock is just ticking. And I'm like, I wonder if someone's listening to this. So, and I, that was kind of funny. So, anyway, appreciate everyone listening in right now, especially the live or whenever you're listening. And like I said, we're definitely going to touch on what happened yesterday in Manchester. And first off, I want to say we are broadcasting out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, if I haven't mentioned that already. But actually, I was in New York, when I saw the news at a truck stop, obviously, because, that's where I'm at all the time. And it was just, seeing another terrorist attack. And at that time yesterday, there wasn't much details, but now ISIS has claimed responsibility, and the names of the bombers a bomber had come out, and, the murderer. And now, it's kind of unfortunately, this is kind of like the cycle that is going on something terrible happens, and then we all kind of come together. We put out our status to pray for wherever. Right, today it's Manchester, and then it seems like it's getting quicker and quicker. The political sides just start talking about from on their political agenda one way or another, and it's getting to the point now. It's instant. As soon as something happens, you have someone on one side or the other already trying to manipulate it into something for an argument for their side, and just totally disregarding the tragedy of people dying. But it's not surprising, and it's unfortunate, and it's also unfortunate that we have these attacks, but if you kind of go back to what the London mayor mentioned last year about basically telling the people of London, first off, I'm gonna say he is a Muslim, and he told this, the people of London that big cities should just, get used to terror attacks. Just, that's just something that just comes with living in a big city. And, that's something you shouldn't have to, that shouldn't be normal. Because basically he was kind of saying like, well, this is the way things are going to go now. Just going to have to deal with it because we rather be politically correct than actually protect your citizens one way or another. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people that actually agree with him. They might not have said it the way he said it, but there are people that agree with that. Like, well, if that's just the price we have to pay to be all inclusive, or to not seem like we are discriminating or whatever against someone, which when you say that, you're going to be discriminating against somebody one way or another. It's not, there's basically no such thing as like an all inclusive, because even the people who are all inclusive are not all inclusive. It kind of goes back to people being saying they're so tolerant, but yet most of the progressive and liberals say they're so tolerant, but are totally intolerant of people like myself, or conservatives in general. So they're intolerant in there somewhere. So it just seems like it's who curries the favor of the progressives at this particular time. Who is the most important? Which group can give them the most power, and and which one most beneficial to them at the at the time, I guess. So, and I definitely join in saying to pray for the people, to pray for Manchester, and it's definitely a terrible situation that has happened, and I would just hope that this tragedy would maybe wake some people up and knowing and being more, I guess, strict on securing their city or securing their country. But unfortunately, I actually don't think that will happen. I really feel like a lot of people are going to agree with what the London mayor said. I forget his name, but I think his last name is Khan or something like that. But yeah, so I really, I hope things go for the better as far as just security in general for not only the people over there, but even over here. but we're always fighting an uphill battle with that. Seems like, because there's so many people who are just scared to be called any sort of phobia or it's racist or whatever like that. And you have people who know that works and they use that to their advantage to scare people and to not wanting to seem like they're bad people. So they back them into a corner by calling them, you're Islamophobic or whatever like that. And then the people say, well, okay, I'll get along. I'll go along with it, even though you totally disagree. And because people just, want to be left alone for the most part. Most people don't want to get involved that much on these issues. We see that not only with just talking about immigration, but that's basically across the board when it just talking about political issues in general. People tend to want to just, kind of just goes back into the election or any election, what I'm saying, like especially a general election. So you have a good number of people, even though you don't have like a majority of people voting, but you have a good number of people voting. And then right after that, then they basically just, totally tune out for another, I said 3.5 years until the next general election. Then they like kind of seems like they just come out of hibernation or something, looking around like, what's going on? Oh, who's running this? Or who is this? And then they're like, okay, I like that guy, then or girl or whoever, and then they vote, and then they go right back into their cave of reality TV or whatever it is that that they're looking at or just consumed by. So anyway, also on I think on Saturday, Vice President Pence did a commencement speech at Notre Dame, and I saw the video of some graduates standing up, turning their back, and then walking right out. I think it was about maybe 100. Now, 100 out of what I think like 3,000 graduates. So it wasn't like what even half one. What? Oh no, well don't let me try to do math on live radio. But it's 100 out of 3,000. And whoever listening, you know the math for that. So it's whatever percent that is. I'm not going to sit here and embarrass myself, even though I'm pretty much embarrassing myself right now by saying I'm not going to do live math. But you had a very small number that went out, but yet it caught, the attention of the media, who definitely love seeing any sort of protests against whether it's President Trump or Vice President Pence. And I posted on my profile, which is Brian L. Bledsoe, and also on Twitter, and so BL_Bledsoe. That's my the personal Twitter page, and and I posted, what a bunch of disrespectful, grandstanding bigots. But that is what would have been said if that was Vice President Biden up there, and you had some conservative students, graduates stand up and leave. Oh man, if that would have been Obama or Biden up there the past 8 years, the media would have said, "Now look at those racists, look at those bigots out there turning their back on their president. How disrespectful! They should be ashamed of themselves. Why can't we just all get along or something?" I mean, it'd be a whole media story about it. Like we just can't get past the racial strife in our country because of these graduates just being so hateful toward their president. And I could just imagine just how heart-wrenching they would have been by their media reports about these just hateful students who don't want to respect the president But given that it was President Trump, well, in this case it was Vice President Pence, they were like, "Oh, look at these heroes! look at these people standing up for what they believe in." Yeah, and truth be told, I really don't have a problem with protests in the general, even in this sense, even this protest, really. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. My thing is that I'm just looking at the double standard of it all. I just know that this would have been reported a whole lot differently if we were talking about any Democrat. So if this was, if this would have been Vice President Kane, I'm trying to think. Oh yeah. So if this was Vice President Kane and you had some conservatives step out and leave, this would have been a whole nother different story reported on the media. So about these students. And so that's just how I was seeing it. Because now there's one part in there that I do definitely agree with. Either way, regardless if it was a protest or not, it's just the whole grandstanding part. Because this definitely was a grandstand. This definitely was something to be shown for people to see, because if you really didn't want to be there, you didn't have to show up. So in that sense, yeah, you definitely are trying to make a point. You want people to see you leave, because it made me think about the past 8 years. I think I've had maybe two or three times where I'm not gonna say I would have been like face to face with President Obama. Not that, but I had like maybe 2 or 3 chances to be like kind of in the area. I think he was holding a speech, or maybe he was doing something in Texas or somewhere else. But I'm a truck driver, so I could be somewhere else where the president would be somewhere. And my first thought when I know that when Obama would be in the area is to go the opposite direction. I don't want to be around when he comes. I'm not going to the event, whatever it is. And I don't want to be there, so I just try to get out of town. So if it was something going on in Dallas and I was already in Dallas, I'll try to get out of Dallas. And especially wherever the area in Dallas, because whether, I don't know how many people know it or not, but wherever the president is, it's a bit of a hassle in a way, especially if you're in that intermediate area where wherever he is. And why would I sit there and go through the trouble and having to go through that hassle? And especially if I'm going into the area where he is, where he's going to be speaking at, having to go through the metal detectors and all that, and stand in line, and the security and all that comes with it. Why would I want to go through all that to see somebody I don't care to see? and so even in this case, like this graduation, okay, you're going to get your diploma anyway. So if you don't want to hear him speak, you didn't have to come. You could have just stayed in your dorm or wherever you're going to stay at, and you could have just not went. Now, if for me, if that would have been Vice President Biden, or if it would have been Vice President Kane, or if I was graduating, I wouldn't have felt. I wouldn't have felt like I just couldn't be in the same room or the same area as him, just because if it's my graduation and I'm getting my diploma, hearing him speak is whatever. You could say whatever you want to say, and whatever. Get off the stage so I can get my diploma. That's how I feel. So. That was just something that happened on Saturday. Just the whole double standard of knowing how this would have been looked at if it was a Democrat up there and you had conservatives walking out. So now I have another, two things, but if you notice how the show goes, at least that I'm on from Tuesday and Thursday, not Tuesday through Thursday, but Tuesday and Thursday. And I've thought a little bit more about changing up a little bit, not the days, but what I'm going to do. So when I first started doing TrendChat, I said I wanted to, definitely talk about what's trending and whatnot, but I wanted to do definitely not just political, but talk about some cultural things, which kind of goes into politics, but in a way. But I noticed I kind of haven't gone into some of the things going on, just whether in entertainment culture, pop culture, whatnot. And I've thought about doing one day more focus on kind of political issues, and another day to focus on more cultural issues. And I'm probably gonna start doing that next week. And so, we'll see how that works. And I mean, obviously, there's something like really big happens on one of those days that is supposed to be either politics or culture. I'm just, I have control over the content, so I'll change it. And I just hope everyone who is listening would enjoy that one way or another. And I enjoy everyone that's been listening. Actually, looking at the stats, we are now over 900 plays, which is just awesome. Or with 30 episodes of 900 plays. I mean, that's I keep saying that for me, it's something I never would have thought would happen. I thought that many people would care to listen to, TrendChat. So I appreciate everyone listening, and definitely, want to continue to go on and grow. And also, in saying that, I hope you do know. Well, you probably don't know. I haven't mentioned this in a while, but we are on Google Play and iTunes. So I don't even know. I haven't been on iTunes myself in a long time. But yes, we are on iTunes, and if you want to go in there, subscribe on iTunes on your Apple device, and subscribe, put in a review and all that. I guess I'll find out. I guess I'll get an email or something. And but yeah, would appreciate that. Or like I said, on Google Play and right here on Spreaker, which am thankful for Spreaker for having this platform for me to come on and give my rants on Notre Dame, and and other things. And so, like I mentioned earlier, I write for Politichicks, and speaking of Politichicks, when I said we, I'm talking about me, Anne Marie Morrell, Sonia Sasser, Morgan Brittany, and I don't know who else may be coming, but I'm going to the Heritage Foundation because they're going to be doing an event there, and it will be broadcast on C-SPAN at noon. It's a luncheon, so it'll be around noon. So I heard C-SPAN. Now, hopefully it is actually C-SPAN, because if you don't know, I know because I am a C-SPAN junkie, and there are a number of C-SPANs, kind of like ESPN. There's like ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN3, and whatnot, ESPN Ocho, but you have C-SPAN, C-SPAN2, C-SPAN 3, so and so hopefully it is actually on C-SPAN. If not, just check your local listings, or it's your local listings, or just check your cable. Or if you don't have cable, just check C-SPAN com or something. Google it. How about that? So, yeah. But yeah, I'll be in DC again. Going to the Heritage Foundation for that, and after that, who knows? So, actually, we probably won't have a show on Thursday because that happens on Thursday. If I didn't mention that, it's on Thursday when the Politichicks will be at the Heritage Foundation. So Thursday, May 25th, check C-SPAN at noon, or just check your schedule to see that we'll be on at noon. Well, I said I'll be in the building. You won't see me, but I'll be there. So when you watch C-SPAN, just notice, hey, Brian is in there somewhere. I might just run across the camera or something, like hold up a TrendChat shirt. Hey, and do that. Nah, if I get kicked out, but don't want that to happen. I like it there at the Heritage Foundation. So, but yeah, so, and also the book. Can't forget the book, Politichicks: Clarion Call to Political Activism. If you don't have the book, get the book. I am thinking of doing something about like some sort of giveaway or sweepstakes or something involving the book. Maybe next week, a week from now. I don't know, but I'm thinking about doing something with Amazon to see try to to give away a book or something like that. So listen out for that, and I'll definitely post it when I figure it out. So. Or when I'm going to do it. So we are here at the 26-minute mark, and I'm thinking because we are live right now as opposed to being recorded. When I did the beginning of the program just now, and here I am. I did it. I said it, and then went into the music and whatnot. Played the music, and I said, "Hey, welcome to TrendChat, whatnot," and all that. It's funny because when I'm doing it live, doing it one time is fine. I mean, it's not like I could just go back and change it because I'm live. But when I'm doing it for recording, it never fails. It's almost like I had to do like 5 or 6 takes before I actually get the one that I actually like, or that I'm just having a coherent thought to where it's coming out clearly. And I do it like 5 or 6 times. But yeah, every time I do it live, it's pretty quick. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's maybe I just start doing it live. But it's not like I can fake myself out. Think that I'm doing it live so I can get this first read out quick. The first part of it to get it right the first time. So, but anyway, so a lot of I wouldn't mind doing more live trend chats, but the thing about it is that my primary job is being a truck driver, so I'm driving all during the day, and I just never know. Like, I wish I could just put a set time, like, all right, Trend Chat's going to be on Tuesday and Thursday at 9 o'clock every time. But if I say that, I'll be lying, because I never know where I might be. And sometimes I know I might not be in a good area to broadcast at 9 o'clock. So it's either that or that I have an interview on there that I'm more comfortable recording the interview and then playing the interview in a recorded episode, as opposed to trying to do it all live, because it's like, if you've been listening to the show, this is all, I'm learning all of this. So as time progresses, maybe I'll be more comfortable as far as playing everything, getting it all together, and doing more live episodes. But that's pretty much the reason why a lot of times maybe they are recorded as opposed to doing live ones. I don't care about doing if it's live or not. It's just more so just me trying to learn how to work this thing. So, but But now I went off into a rabbit trail talking about this, but I was talking about the book. Yes, I was. So yeah, so definitely, get the book, and hopefully it's definitely a good read. It's a collection of articles from different contributors like myself, and the article about me becoming a delegate at the Republican convention last year up in Cleveland. That is in the book, the updated version, because there is a version on politics.com, but that's just the original version. The updated version is only available in the book. Now, if that's not a reason to go get the book, I don't know what is. You can read the updated version of my article there now. Now you have all the reason in the world to buy the book. So, now, another thing, if you've been listening to the show, that you have heard almost on every episode, and if by me saying this, you probably know what I'm about to say because I haven't mentioned it yet. So you're like, oh, he's about to talk about the Founder Project again. Yes, I am about to talk about the Founder Project. So, and this time I got something new for you. And actually, we will have someone from the Founder Project on with us. If not on Thursday, it will be on next Tuesday. Either way, the news is that the video series is now up. There's a video series called Civics for All Ages. And as I talked about the Founder Project many times, and if you've been listening, you know that they're bringing civics to citizens and just educating people on the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, just for people to actually understand what it means to be a citizen and understand civics, which is not really, not taught in schools, because unfortunately you have, the progressive liberals out there that basically don't want them to know civics, because they want them to believe in what, things like healthcare is a right, or that, what I was about to say, almost lost my train of thought. But yeah, but yeah, so things like healthcare is a right and other things, they want them to believe in that and not even care about what the Constitution says about limited government or what our rights are as citizens and promoting freedom. So yeah, so the Founder Project definitely will be a great resource as far as with this video series and with other things that are coming out. And like I said, we'll have someone with the Founder Project with us to talk a whole lot more about it and a lot more details. Because one thing, if you have been listening to this program, you have probably heard me say the same thing, and you're probably like, what else more about the Founder Project? And that is the opportunity you will have when you will hear from someone from the Founder Project. They will tell you everything you probably want to know. Matter of fact, if you want to know more, send me a question and I'll ask them then if you want to know more about the Founder Project. But right now, if you want to go to their know more, just go to their Facebook page. Just search the Founder Project, and like I said, their video series is up, and yep, just head over there and learn, basically. So, all right, we are here at the end, and just want to say again, thanks for everyone for listening in, and I really appreciate it. I really do. And just also a little side note. Don't know why I'm about to mention this, but I just think it's, it's whatever. It's I know I'm on LinkedIn. I was doing a profile on I have a LinkedIn profile that's been on for I don't know how long, and I just updated it, and man, it took a. When I look back at it, I'm like, man, I haven't updated this in a long time, like 5, 6, 7 years. And I don't know why I'm just talking about that, but I don't know, for some reason it just came to my mind. But but again, if anyone's in the DC area, if you're listening to my voice before May 25th, head out to the Heritage Foundation at noon. Take your lunch break and head over to the Heritage Foundation and meet the political chicks. Meet Anne Marie Morrell and Sonia Sassa and Morgan Brittany, and I'll be there too. So maybe I might sign another autograph. Like I said a couple of shows ago, I got to get used to. Well, I guess I'll gotta get used. I don't know how much I'm gonna be signing autographs, but it's something I have noticed about when you sign the autograph. Like, I always thought about just writing a signature. I never thought about putting a little message, trying to think I forgot what Senator Cruz put on his, but a lot of times, but like stay, keep liberty safe. Well, I don't know. I just made up something. But I'm just thinking there's always like a little message a lot of people tend to write when they're autographing a book or whatnot. They'll say, stay strong for liberty or something like that. And I don't have anything yet. I'm actually just thinking about it right now. So I just sign my name and say, here you go. Thank you. So I got to think of some real deep, thoughtful little saying to put with my autograph. So people say, oh man, that was deep. So like I said, thanks for listening. And actually, it's funny. As someone that doesn't write that often, I actually wrote 2 articles in one day, which is like amazing for me, at least. I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's people out there that write like 50 articles in a day, but I wrote 2 articles, and which would be posted sometime this week. So, one in particular about kind of connecting the death of Chris Cornell to something personal to me, and I guess I'll talk more about that when it's actually published. But that was it was funny when hearing about Chris Cornell dying. For some reason, it felt a little personal. For some, other than the general sadness of someone dying. But for me, when I saw it, I'm like, oh, it hit me differently as opposed to just how normally you would feel about hearing about a person dying. And I didn't really think about it until I went back and thought for about a day or so, and playing back some songs. I'm kind of talking about the article in a little bit, but anyway, when I did that, I kind of was reminded of why, and I talk about that in the article that will be posted later this week. I think maybe on Sunday. So So that's it. And if we are on Thursday, I will definitely let everyone know. Appreciate everyone listening in. And again, if you want to connect with us on social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, TrendChat 24/7 is the name across the board. And to read the articles that have already been posted, go to politichicks.com/author/Brian Bledsoe. And that is it. And until next time, we'll chat with you later.
you.